This was about 7 years ago. I was 31. Me and my husband Daniel had just bought our first place together, proper first house, not renting anymore, out near Norwich. Older place, built in the 30s, the estate agent said, 3-bed, small garden, and a loft that we honestly didn't think about at all when we bought it. Like it wasn't even a factor, just somewhere to shove Christmas decorations. First couple months were just normal moving in stuff, boxes everywhere, paint samples on the wall, me and Dan arguing about curtains of all things. Genuinely boring in the best way. I loved it actually. The attic hatch was on the landing right outside our bedroom, one of those pull-down ladder ones. We used it exactly how you'd expect old uni stuff. Decorations, boxes we hadn't got round to unpacking yet. Nothing weird about any of it. I want to stress that. Because I know how these stories usually start with, and then I noticed something was off immediately, and that's just not true here. It was fine for ages. First slightly odd thing, and I mean slightly, I didn't think anything of it at the time, was about 10 weeks in. I was up there on a Saturday looking for a box, and one of the floorboards near the far wall had shifted, wasn't sitting flush like the rest. I just assumed someone had lifted it for wiring at some point before us and never put it back right. Pushed it back down, carried on looking for my box. Genuinely forgot about it within the hour. Told Dan that evening, more as a "oh, that's a bit odd" than anything else, and he just said probably old rewiring work. Houses this age usually have had something done to them. Made sense. Didn't think about it again. Then maybe a month later, we both started hearing this creaking, right above our bedroom ceiling, near where the hatch was. Not every night, just now and then, always fairly late, gone midnight most times. Dan reckoned it was the house settling, which, fair, old houses do that. Wood moves about with temperature. I believed it easy enough because it wasn't happening constantly, just often enough to notice and go, "oh, that again." It changed a bit after that though, stopped sounding like general creaking and started sounding like actual footsteps. Slow ones. I remember lying there one night with my eyes shut, just following the sound and thinking, that's too deliberate to be pipes. Dan didn't just brush it off that time either. To be fair to him, he said maybe we'd got something living in the eaves, birds or squirrels, apparently really common in older houses. We actually paid for pest control to come check, properly checked the whole loft for gaps. Found nothing, no droppings, no nest, nothing that could have got in. My sister stayed over a weekend not long after. Box room next to ours, right by the hatch. Next morning she just casually goes, "Did one of you go up in the loft round Tam last night?" Completely normal tone, like she assumed it was us. When I told her neither of us had, she kind of paused and said she must have been half asleep. I wanted to believe that. I really did. The bit that actually got me though, Dan was away for work. First night I'd been on my own in the house properly, and around 11 I heard the hatch creak open. By itself. Not slam down, nothing dramatic, just slowly lowering a few inches on its own. The ladder mechanism clicking bit by bit as it went. I was just stood in the hallway, frozen, genuinely convinced I was imagining it. But it kept going, inch by inch, on its own weight apparently. And it had never done that before or since, under normal use. I did not go near it. Went straight to the bedroom, locked the door. Barely slept. When Dan got back we went up together, torch, checked every corner, moved every box. That same floorboard had shifted again despite nobody being up there in weeks. Nothing. No explanation whatsoever. He got a joiner in thinking maybe the hatch spring mechanism was knackered with age. Joiner said it was in perfect working order, no reason it should release like that on its own. We asked our neighbor, older woman called Pauline, lived on the street her whole life basically, if she knew anything about who lived there before us. She went quiet for a second, that pause people do when they're deciding whether to actually tell you something, and said the previous owner, not the people we bought it off. The one before them had kept something up in that loft for years and wouldn't let anyone up there, not even his own family. Said after he died the house sat empty nearly 2 years before anyone even tried selling it, like nobody quite knew what to do with it. She didn't say more than that. I didn't push her on it either, if I'm honest, because part of me didn't actually want to know. We had the loft boarded up from below about a year after and just stopped using it. Moved everything to a shed in the garden instead. The footsteps mostly stopped, or we stopped hearing them the way we used to. Every couple months, though, I'll still hear one single creak. Just one. Right above the bedroom. Late at night, nothing after it. We still live there. We just don't go up anymore, and if anyone asks why the hatch is boarded, we just say it's for insulation. Easier than the alternative.